And good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Tom Atkins. Welcome to a little weather update for you this morning. Glad to be with you. We're going to make sure there's no feedback here. Excuse me. And other than that, we are live on Jet Fox Erie Facebook. And you're looking at Meadville at Chestnut Street there. And you can see the snowflakes falling there. So we got, all kinds of warnings and advisories and stuff with the weather. So thought we'd check in with you, give you a little bit of an update, and thanks for being with me this morning. We'll continue to keep you covered on Facebook and on TV eventually. We've got some crawls running there. Hello, Vicki Jones. Good to see you. Hello, 7 Day. Hello, Harrison. Good to see you. And Jim and Bob Sue, long time no see. And that's really the question everywhere. Who loses power today? How widespread are the losses? How gusty are the winds? Now, I think the power loss thing and the wind thing is going to ramp up later this morning. What we're concerned about initially is what's going on right near here with temperatures dropping. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little sky cam tour, a little temperature tour. Then we'll deal with everything one by one. As it says in the opening there, temperatures are falling, and winds will be ramping up. There will be some snow, and then it's going to get very cold. For more than a week here. Let's just put it that way. Deborah, good to see you. Mary, West Side. Shelly, welcome back. Hello, Wanda. Yeah, just make sure you're safe out there. So let me give you full screens here. And hello, Sherry Meter, our Crystal River greeter. I think it's probably just a little bit warmer down there for you. So I'm going to give you a few camera shots. We're going to add some temperatures. We're going to get into this thing subject by subject. I'll be checking back, as far as if you do have any questions, but and Diane, you may be a little bit warmer down there in Charlotte too. Hello, Bunny. Hello, Letitia. And no problem. Glad to help you out. So let's do this. Let us just go around the horn first of all. You're seeing the beginnings of the fall in temperature. I think we got a Bayfront camera here, and you can see how these roads are wet here on the Bayfront Highway. They're starting to get a little slushy when you get to colder places away from the lake, which tells you that the temperatures are dropping. Okay, so here's Erie International Airport, west a little bit, and you can see a little accumulation on the ground there. Roads still wet here, but probably getting a little slushy. Let's go over to Girard, give you a little shot here. And I can open that up for you so we can get a little better view of down on Main Street. Let's see. All right. Let me open this thing up. But it's the same thing, even along the lakeshore. You're starting to get temperature falling enough to create snow, and eventually you're going to get the surfaces cold enough to make snow stick, and all this moisture on the road is going to freeze. So that's a concern. Okay, we've got Meadville. Let's do a little tower cam just to give you a little I-90 and Peach here, and you can see what's happening here. See this? All right, in the islands here, starting to stick where the traffic isn't quite as heavy, and then you can see the slush tracks here up. This is what's going to happen, and you can see the parking lot. So over the next few hours, things are going to deteriorate temperature-wise and road-wise, and eventually the wind's going to ramp up. And you can see these temperatures getting critical now. 34 at the airport, 33 Meadville, right at freezing Jamestown. So you guys know what's going on there. We're getting the drop right now. So far, it's just the drop. Okay, but if you're going out, keep that in mind. Let me get back to you guys. Bob and Sue, you're in Florida too with Sherry. That's great. 59 in Jacksonville. Sherry, what do you got going down there? Do you have a weather station? Do you have a temp for your location? Hello, Justine. Good to see you. Thomas Carlucci. Um, that is a very funny comment. You're killing me. Really? No, this is what we call winter, and it happens every year. Thank you for that humor, Bob. Um, Heather, hello. Good to see you. Peggy Ann, good to see you. Shannon, driving from State College yesterday. Trisha, glad you're here. Glad you're here. It's a good time to settle in. Trisha, good to see you. Let's see. Wendy, hello. Uh, Ray Brown, getting some snow in the borough. Thank you. Um, well, that happens when you're up like during most people's hours, I guess. Usually I get a smaller crew. Hello, Edward. Long time no see. Yeah, we're going to get to the wind eventually. Virginia. Wow. Um, Villages. We got a lot of Florida people in here. Hi, Tammy. Thank you, Mark. Your day will come. Pennies from heaven for you, Larry. John, send me a picture. Zach, hello. Doris, hello. I mean, yeah, this is the thing. I mean, you see some of these headlines. It's just redonkulous. There was a headline on the news: major storm moving across the country. No, it's a winter storm that's moving across the country. This is what we call January. Why do you want to overhype stuff? Okay, that's my soapbox. Let's just deal with what's reality and what's been going on for decades and centuries and everything else. There is nothing new under the sun. Solomon was quite wise. Hello, thank you, Mark. Yeah, it's going to blow a little harder too. Hello, Charlene from Florida. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Okay, so let's get me out of here. Hello, Lynn. Yeah, it's not going to be a whole lot better today. Morning, Kathy. Good to see you. Uh, you're welcome, Robin. Good to see you. Let's see, Lane, tier two. Okay, thank you for that. I also have some notes from the news department here. Um, that no church service, Lakewood United Methodist Church on West 10th on Sunday. They're already closing, Lakewood United Methodist. So there you go. Yeah, the blankety blanks are visiting. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. Yep, you just wait for that wind. That's what I said. We're taking this thing in stages. It's going to go from, you know, wet and slushy to cold and slippery in the next couple of hours, then the wind, and then the real cold settles in with some snow. Um, yeah, that's exactly the point. Weather works in cycles. Um, we have cold winters, you have warm winters. Welcome to real winter. I don't know how cold it's going to be. Allegedly all winter, but it's so far it's the opposite of last winter. It was cold in November and December, and then it got warm. This year it was warm in November and December. It's getting cold in January. I have enough trouble with the next 7 days. I don't know. I don't want to stretch it out too far. I'm not that smart. Okay, so let's get into it here. Show you a few things. Let's see what we got here. First of all, let's deal with the map and the watches. Okay, so we're under a high wind warning until they're saying till 1 a.m. Tomorrow morning. I heard 1 p.m., but maybe it is 1 a.m. Regardless, it's going to get very windy today and tonight. It's windier than it is now. You guys, this is Crawford and Warren. You got wind advisory. That means your wind is probably what it is across the top of the screen. Now, Erie can get higher than that. Okay, the wind advisories at least 50. Erie can go over 60 like it did last night. Erie could be 60 to 70. All right, so that's why we're concerned about power outages. Chautauqua already has winter storm warnings because the lake effect that will develop will be further north. So we're not expecting a ton of snow in Erie. Probably most of it is going to New York State, but we will get some snow. Gale warning also in effect for the nearshore waters. So you have multiple warnings. Okay, here's the radar for you, just to show you that the precipitation is changing. It's going to wet, slushy snow. You guys can see that there. So we just want to take this like one hit at a time. Sue, good to have you from Pittsfield. Let me know what's going on there. Good comment, Thomas Carlucci. So yeah, and if you want to get some gas, if your tank is low, now's a good time to do it before it gets really windy. Because if the stations lose power, then you can't pump gas, that kind of thing. Yeah, very good, Robin. Thanks so much for that. Let's keep things in perspective here. Just this is winter. This is what happens. It's really nothing new under the sun. All right, John, good to see you. Good stuff there. So, in the first leg of this kind of thing, it's, sorry about that. Got to get my ducks in a row here. It's rain changing to snow, roads becoming slippery. Now, again, you see the wind thing going on here. I think it's really going to ramp up between 11 p.m. or 11 p.m., 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. So lunchtime, watch out. Now, here's the deal. Here's the winds right now, okay? These are the sustained speeds, basically 10 to 25. Right now, these are the gusts. We've got a 44 in Meadville in the last hour. So basically, when you get winds to, 55 to 60, you're going to start doing damage, like pushing trees down that are poorly rooted, knocking down utility poles, tearing shingles off roofs. So that's the thing. So let's just run a model and talk about what the potential is. Okay. So the potential is that you could, let me get control of this. I want to slow this down for you and just go here. So here's our gusts into the 30s. Now, as we get into the midday, yes, you could get 50 to 60. And then as we get into the evening and into tomorrow, it slowly goes down, but it doesn't go away tomorrow. It's just less. So I would be concerned mainly in the late morning into the mid-afternoon here. Now, this model is saying, 55 for Erie. You could get gusts over 60. They had a gust to 69 at the airport yesterday evening. We shall see. The point is, once you get up in this range, okay, you're doing damage. So be prepared. Okay, whatever the actual peak gust goes up to be, this is going to be a situation where we can have power outages. Okay, with that kind of deal. So right now, Erie County rounded off is around 2,500 households without power. Chautauqua and Warren County about 500. Crawford County about 1,000. Ashtabula about 3,000. Venango County 100. Okay, so these numbers will likely go up. So just basically take the necessary precautions. Okay, as far as potential power outages. Okay. What else? Who else? Thanks, Sue, for that. Plug in your phones. Good. Hello, Debbie. Always good to see you here. Yeah, and you know what we're talking about. Siding and old shingles can be vulnerable. Hello, Ernie. Glad you're getting better. No problem, Robert. It's my pleasure. When you get as old as I am, and you look back in time, you can see that there are cold and snowy periods. There are warmer and less snowy periods. Guess what? We're in a warmer and less snowy periods. What causes that? I don't want to get into because it's ridiculous. Um, but I guarantee you there will be more cold and snowy winters. That's putting things in perspective. Um, uh, yeah, Tina, and where are you? Are you north of 90? Are you in Erie County? I think basically what we're going with, and I was just talking to Tommy D. Let me get the specifics on here. The waves will be crazy. I mean, I'll pull up a marine forecast for you. Let me just do a little investigating right now, just for a second, just to get you guys oriented. Um, and thanks to my buddy Rick over in the newsroom. Um, let me see. I just want to. I just want to get that snow kind of thing nailed down, and I'll do a little models here for snow as well, because what you're going to see is the bands are generally going to end up more up towards New York State with this deal. So as far as our local area is concerned, basically the closer you are to the lake, the more snow you get. But it's nothing to write home about. I mean, okay, yeah, I think the slipperiness is going to be more of a problem. I think the winds are going to be more of a problem. I think the temperatures are going to be more of a problem. So we're saying 1 to 3 inches today, most areas. Another 1 to 3 along the lake shore tonight, north of 90 kind of deal. Less to the south. So if you're in southern Erie, Crawford, Warren, down south further towards 80 east into the mountains, you're not going to get a whole lot of snow tonight. And then tomorrow it's the same kind of thing. I think you had another 2 to 4 along the lake shore, less than an inch to the south. But the wind chills are going to go below zero tonight, and they're going to stay below zero for tomorrow. So that's another thing to be concerned about, whether, you know, how you heat your home, if if you lose power, things like that. I want to do, what do I want to do? I know we got a gale warning. So if Shannon, you were asking about the waves, I'll do a quick, this is not that anybody's going to ever go out in a boat on this stuff, because that would be crazy. But, sometimes it's interesting to look at what the nearshore marine forecasts are saying. And my computer is slow, so I'm going to try another route. But gale warnings in effect through late tonight. Storm warning in effect. Wait a minute. Gale warnings in effect till 9 a.m. and then a storm warning, which is bigger than a gale warning. In other words, they're forecasting 14 to 19 foot waves on Lake Erie today. Later, with occasional waves to 24 feet. About the same deal tomorrow. So yeah, unless you got a battleship, don't go out on a boat. Okay. Yeah, well, I think the bay's going to freeze for the ice fisher people. We want to keep them happy because they've had it rough lately. Yes, very good, Carl Dean. This is winter. It's what we call January. Yeah, be careful, because the roads will freeze now, and I don't know when you have to drive. Yeah, but we try to Tommy D's covering some stuff on his end. I'm doing some stuff on my end. Jacob will be here later, of course. Oh, that's crazy. Wind direction, we'll do that too. I mean, basically, it's going to be out of the southwest, and that's what will push it, the snow situation, up towards Buffalo. Okay. Strong southwest winds. Great to hear from you, Joe. All right, so we got established the fact that the winds are going to ramp up later this morning and early this afternoon, and probably those power outages are going to increase. We also got established the fact that the temperatures are dropping, and this is going to, create slippery roads initially. All right. So right now you got wind chill factors like this. Okay. And what's going to happen is they're just going to drop with the temperatures and the increasing winds. I mean, this is not rocket science. So what will happen is the temperatures will drop into the 20s, the wind chill factors will drop into the single digits, and probably to below zero by morning in a lot of areas. The thing is, the temperatures are going to be much colder tomorrow, and the winds are going to be strong enough that here's your wind chill factors for Sunday. It's going to feel like below zero pretty much all day tomorrow. And tomorrow night, they'll dip a little bit more. Okay. So what does this mean? It means that if you have to go out, obviously, and not just for tonight, it's going to be cold all week, kids. So get into that, dress appropriately for the weather mode, because here's your temperatures last 12 hours at ERI. You see what's happening. The fall has begun. And here's your high temperatures for Erie the next 5 days. All right. It's not getting above freezing for at least a week. Okay. That's the deal. And of course, if you have pets, like these cats are smart. Maybe they're just indoor cats, but they're looking outside from the inside. And, dogs, obviously, you got to take them out. But, take care of them because they may get like this one. And we don't want to, forget about farmers or those of you with larger animals, livestock, whatever. Keep the pets and the animals warm. It's a good deal. It's a good idea, right? So just gonna catch up with you guys. All right. Okay. Yeah, well put, 7 day. She's in the healthcare profession. She knows. Um, okay, so when is official? I haven't had a chance to look it up. Perhaps I can look it up here. The weather radio was saying like 1 p.m. Was when it expires tomorrow. And my data is saying 1 a.m. So I got a conflict here. So I'm just going to check their latest forecast. So okay, it's 1 a.m. There was a glitch on the weather radio. So that is good news. The high wind warning for Erie County expires at 1 a.m. So we got to get through today, kids. And then the winds at least will get better. Hello, Laura. Good to see you. 30 and snowing in the borough. Thank you, Thomas Carlucci. All right, so that's the deal with the temperatures. Now let's deal with the snow. Okay, here's the deal. Lake effect, where it dumps, the accumulations all dependent on wind direction. As we were just talking about, southwest wind favors Buffalo. Okay, it may bend around a little bit to a west wind or a west-southwest wind. Now that brings it down basically along the lake shore, the bands of lake effect. This could happen. It could be kissing the lake shore occasionally. I'm going to look at a model in a second and see if that's really the case. But this is not, at least at this point over this weekend, a northwest flow. So it's not big accumulations in the snow belts and into Meadville and Warren County. It's not that kind of a flow. So as we deal with this, let me do some models here, and then we can. And also I love this road temperature graphic. Okay, this is untreated surfaces. What's going to happen in the next 12 to 48 hours? Now, of course, they will be salting, but you can see by tonight, by tomorrow, if you don't have a treated surface, it's going to be frozen. Okay, just keep that in mind because, hopefully, And I've seen them out there working on the roads, the main roads. But you're talking, remember in terms of sidewalks, overpasses, um, parking lots, places that may not be salted. See, here's the deal. This is a cool little thing. Bridges and overpasses are the first to become hazardous. Cold air passes both above and below the road surface. This allows the road surface to cool much more quickly, right? So that's the problem if you're driving and you're dealing with bridges. That can, they tend to freeze first, okay? All right. Let me go back and find some models here and try to put this thing in perspective. Here's what my nightcap group calls the what do we call this? The tadpole model. You see the wind flow in red there? It's southwest, okay? All right, so I want to open this up. Okay, so you guys can see, here's a main band up here. What's going through right now this morning is what we call the synoptic snow. That's just the snow with the cold front. Everybody gets a little equal opportunity snow. But as we go through time, you see this? Look for the dark blue. It can kiss the lakeshore at times, all right? But as long as that wind remains predominantly southwest, it's going to only really affect New York State, and at times it becomes a little more westerly or west-southwest, it can affect northern Erie County. So this model's saying, okay, through this evening, that's where the snow is going to be. And then you take it into tomorrow. And most of the heavier bands, again, look for the dark blue. This is tomorrow morning, are out over the lake and going into Buffalo. For those of you watching the Steelers game tomorrow, could be interesting. Now, this one says it gets out of the South Towns by game time and it starts to kiss the lakeshore again. But what you're seeing, the consistency here is it's all up here, with the west-southwest flow, or just due southwest. It's not penetrating down in here. Okay, so that's one model's perspective. Thomas Carlucci loves this model. It's called the NAM North American. We look for consistency. So here's your synoptic snow, and then there's the band. So this has it shuffling into Buffalo, the heavy bands, the dark blues, occasionally kissing the lakeshore. Those of you in the city, Harbor Creek Northeast, up into Chautauqua County later tonight, and then it goes back north tomorrow morning, and then it comes back down a little bit late tomorrow morning. But you don't see the blues getting very far south of 90. So these models are very consistent that you guys, and here's another one. This is a little shorter range. Here's your synoptic snow, and then later the bands start to set up over the lake. And again, kissing the lakeshore at 90, maybe a little bit further south in this model, but then going right back up later. So what we're finding from all of this, if you want to take it out a little bit longer, we can try this one. Now, this one's not as fine-tuned, but just look for the bright, okay? So you're getting a shot with those strong winds this afternoon. Now, this one's a little bit further south, but the general drift on this, you look at tomorrow morning, it's up here. It's over the lake, and it's going into Buffalo. Then it comes down a little bit tomorrow afternoon, gets to about Edinboro, the heavier stuff. Then it goes back up north, all right? I just showed you 4 models, and we love consistency because that tells us that there's good agreement and we could be confident with our forecast, all right? Let's see, anybody? Just got, hello, Mary. Well put, Tammy. Oh, I'd love to do that. That would be so much fun. Thanks, Justine. 2016. Are you thinking 2017, like Christmas storm? 2017 or 18 winter? Because If you're thinking 2016, John, and you got blasted in Warren, I'd have to look that up. Hello, GFS. Just showed your model. Great to have you here. Yeah, I mean, you want to play it safe. You don't have to go out. Good points, people. Anytime, Joe. Good to see you. Okay, gotcha, brother. Yeah, not that at this point. But it's going to be cold all week and probably into next weekend. I haven't looked at a lot of long range stuff, but in any event, uh, that's I'll give you like 3.5 days here, and then maybe an 8 to 14 day outlook, and I'll check some wind gusts. And I think you all got the idea here. What's going to happen? Like I said, the models are consistent. We like that. So don't expect a ton of snow. By the time the weekend's over with, maybe you get 5 to 7 inches close to the lake and lesser amounts to the south. But, we'll be fine tuning that. Could be a little bit higher along the lake shore, north of 20, as Thomas Carlucci was talking about there. Why is this happening? Here's a bonus pick for you. See the pink? We call that pink stinks. The Arctic air is coming into the United States. So first it drops into the plains, and then it moves eastward. This is a model for 2 weeks. It's called the GFS. What I can do is show you the next 2 weeks. And basically, it's a temperature forecast. So if you see the pink, that's the below zero air. Okay. What's the date today? The 13th. So we'll go 13th to 27th of January. Okay. The light blue and the white is still very cold. So you can watch what this does. This is through the weekend. This is next week. You see, you're at least in the light blue and sometimes the white. That is not changing. The pink, look at this. This is next weekend. Getting real close. That very cold Arctic air. This is next weekend. Look at that. So this is next Sunday, not 2 days from now. It's still wedging in here early next week. Now they say might be a little bit of a respite Monday, not this Monday, and maybe a little bit more Tuesday. So the Arctic air retreats a little bit mid to late next week, but then it starts making another move 2 weeks from today. So we are in a colder pattern. That's what you need to know. We have returned, or we have started winter. I don't think it really, we had almost as much snow on Halloween as we've had all winter. It's a little different this year. In any event, that's the deal there. I want to show you one more model, and then we'll go back, do a little forecast and stuff like that. So here you go. Southwest winds make the snow, mainly Lakeshore and Buffalo. Hey, that rhymes. It goes back up north overnight, comes back south a little bit. Look at what we're talking here. It's basically in that position, a little bit south of 90, getting as far south as maybe Albion, McCain, Waterford. It's flirting with the snow belt, but it's really not staying there. And again, this is tomorrow night, goes back up. See how this morphs? Doesn't on this model, it's not doing much tomorrow night and into Monday. It's shuffling off, waiting for the next. Now, this is what you're going to call a round of synoptic snow. It's another front, so everybody's getting it. So you get another round of what I call equal opportunity snow on Monday night and Tuesday, then more bands set up into Tuesday. So this is what you've got. You've got real winter. And so the snow amount's probably not that horrendous, but the cold will be something we're not really used to. And you can look at stuff like current temperatures. There's the Arctic air. It drops into the plains. It moves eastward. Okay. Let me get back to you guys for a minute. What else? I don't want to miss anybody. Anytime, Daniel. You're welcome, Mary. Let's see. Chili sounds good. Hello, Rachel. Yeah, I think that's a good deal. Finally, you guys, as Larry Wander calls it, pennies from heaven, can make some money from those pennies from heaven. I'm gonna see if Rick has anything new from the newsroom. I want to check. So here's the 7-day, just so you know. Do a little 7-day here for you, 7-day, and the rest of you wonderful people. This one, oh, I want the patriotic one because that probably has the writing a little bit better on it. All right. So temps falling into the 20s today. The lake effect is mainly near the lake. And then Monday it goes away. And then Tuesday and Wednesday it ramps up. I mean, look at the temperatures. And you saw that 2-week model. Okay. Maybe back to freezing the following week. And I'm just guessing here. I haven't looked really at a lot of stuff. Maybe back to freezing, I don't know, 10 days from now. That's a guess. I don't know 100%. I'm going to look at something real quick before I let you go, just to see if it cooperates. But you guys can take a look at that 7-day. Becky, you're welcome. Yeah, this is winter mode. This is not anything new under the sun. Oh, thanks. This is Rick from the newsroom. He's got nothing new. So we'll go back to we'll go back to power outages, temperatures, and we'll probably wrap it up from there. Cindy, great to have you here. How is everything in the U of C this morning? Excellent. That's all right. We work together. You know how that goes. DeVecchio doing a little updating on the Facebook page and on our website. Love doing these lives. Oh, okay. I guess it's your birthday. Thanks, Lisa, for happy birthday, Cindy T, U of C. Great to have you here. Thanks for all you do at the EFCU. Amanda, great to have you here. Well put. Well put. Gary, good to see you. All right, so that's there. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to check power outages. And again, the thing is, roads are going to get slippery. Sidewalks, bridges, overpasses, like we were talking about before. So be careful. Tell Frank to tank high and happy thinning of the herd. Love it. Frank's happy because he's a hunter, and we're getting some snow. All you hunters out here, here's your snow, but dress appropriately because it's gonna get cold. Yeah, and we did have. That's a great thing too, Alicia. We did have some reports of thunder snow late last night, so there can be a little thunder snow. This is cold air coming across a relatively warm lake. It does make for whiteouts and sometimes thunder snows. All right, so what do we got to do here? We got to go back Back, Jack, do it again. All right. So again, we'll just check wind speeds. Still 10 to 25. Wind gusts. Still got some 20s to 40s. Power outages. Okay, we're ramping back up, and this is starting to happen again. So Erie went from 2,500 to 3,000. Other numbers haven't really increased that much. I'm going to check the latest gusts at ERI and take a look at this long range. So talk amongst yourselves. Got to move to another computer, which is why my voice just faded. Checking on a couple of things before I let you go. I mean, it's the drill, kids. It's nothing new under the sun. This is winter. It's here for a while. Yeah, so maybe early next week we get to the freezing mark again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and models are starting to take it colder into the following weekend. Just like I showed you, So all this week and the next weekend, it's probably below freezing. All right. What else? Check one more. Check this. Check these gusts for you. Still not that bad in the last hour. Like a gust to 37 in the last hour at ERI. So, prepare for these things to ramp up. After that, they'll gradually come down at night, but not to zero. It's still going to be blustery tomorrow. But the damaging wind potential, I believe, is late morning into the mid-afternoon. So there we are. Quick look at temps. Quick look at, and it's just happening. There's is that a fire truck or a bus? I can't tell. I guess it's a bus. In any event, you can see the visibility coming down. This is I-90 in Peach. So far the main roads here are wet to slushy, but of course that will change. Give you a little tour around the area real quick here. And Erie International. Yeah, so the snow is increasing. So eventually, as temperatures drop below freezing, it's going to start sticking. Here's Girard coming up here, same kind of deal. Lower visibilities are lowering. Snow is picking up. This is Land Lighthouse. And do I have something there? Okay, there you go. That's pretty. Here's Meadville. So that's Lower East Side. And everywhere you look, it's picking up. Here's the Bayfront. Yeah, okay. So with that in mind, kids, and temperatures are slowly dropping too, and they will drop below freezing. So be concerned for slippery roads initially. Power outages possible as winds get gustier late this morning and into this afternoon. Wind chills like this. By tomorrow morning, they're all below zero, like that, and they're staying below zero tomorrow. So obviously, temperatures continue to drop. You can see that right here. Temperatures will be cold. Take care of the pets, kitties, the puppies, the livestock. The elderly, kids, dress warmly. It's mainly a southwest wind um, going up into Buffalo that may kiss the lakeshore at times with some heavier snow bands, but we're not forecasting a ton of snow this weekend. Maybe 5 to 7 inches along the lakeshore, lesser amounts 4 or below, Edinburgh to say French Creek, New York, and a lot less uh, Crawford and anywhere from Warren south. All right. But everybody probably gets 1 to 3 today. All right. And then the freeze. Now, we do have these things called 8 to 14 day outlooks. Show you one of these. Winds are picking up here now. You can hear them behind me. And I'm not sure exactly what time period this is. I'll give you the dates in just a second that the 18 to 14 covers here. This is January 20th to 26th. So that would be next Saturday to the following Friday. So this gets into next week. So the cold relaxes a little bit here, but it's still not warm. It's closer to normal is what it's going to be that week. And normal high is what, about, 34, 35? I can check. All right. I do have that info because this is going to be, I believe, yesterday's high and low for ERI and all that stuff. So it should have the normals on it. All right. All right. So the average is high is 35 and the average low is 22. So the following week, not this coming week, it's all below freezing this coming week. The following week, we may be closer to normal, but it looks like it's going to dump the next weekend after that. So be prepared, not scared. All right. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to just call it a morning here. Great to have you with us. Thanks, everybody, for your support. All right. Thank you. Yeah. So this is probably going to be a problem. Those power outages will ramp up with the wind over the next few hours. Hopefully the crews can get things restored. So good to see all of you. I think it's going to be very windy and cold, and they will get a bunch of snow before it happens. I don't know if, they'll be in whiteout conditions in game time, but they will have had snow, and they will be very cold. And there could be snow falling during the game. 1 to 3 inches everywhere today we're looking at. Hello, Alex. You're welcome, Lore. I did. I love winter, Jim, Justin. Good morning, Annie. Thanks, Yvonne. You're welcome, Alex. Marianne, I guess it's better in Tampa. And Sherry, I guess it's better in Crystal River. GFS, a little bit better in Franklin. Thomas, thank you for your help. Thank all of you, one and all. It's winter. Nothing all that extreme, but a lot colder than what we've expected. And the slippery roads, strong winds that can cause power outages, some snow, but falling temperatures not only contributing to slippery roads, but once it goes below freezing, which it'll probably do in the next hour in Erie, it ain't coming back for a week at least. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your support. We'll shut it down. Jacob will be in here later. Look on the Facebook page. Look on the website. Yourerie.com will continue to update you there, but I think you got the picture, and I think you're pretty much in good shape as long as you just use common sense. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. Make it a great weekend. Be safe. Be warm. Check on those that need checked on, and we'll be keeping you covered throughout it. I'll be back, and Tommy D and I both will be back in the saddle on Monday. Jacob has got you through the weekend. Anything crazy happens, other guys will be helping out too. But right now, looks pretty good. Looks manageable, except for the power outage. That's a big pain. So hopefully they're not as bad. I remember at one point on Tuesday it was up to like 24,000 in Erie County. Right now it's at 3,000. We hope it's not as bad, but be prepared. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on down the road. Have a good and safe weekend. Take care.